At least I would like to satisfy myself that the constitutional role is being diligently observed by the state government.
Ray of hope for oil producing communities as President Buhari vows to ensure optimum utilization of 13% derivation fund.
Parliamentary system that was adopted in 1960, starting from the Clinton Constitution in 1954, is the best economic benefit that can happen to our system.
House of Representatives members push for parliamentary system of government.
In a democracy, you work together, but democracy must be in accordance to the rule of law.
Social Democratic Party presidential candidacy, Donald Duke out, Jerry Garner in. Hello, a warm welcome to NTA Network News from the corporate headquarters in Abuja. I'm Joseph Johnson and I'm glad to be back on the news desk after a short vacation. Well, on this trip, I am being accompanied by Fatai Adieloja from Ibadan. Good to see you, Fatai. President Muhammadu Buhari has made a case for well-meaning Nigerians and non-governmental organizations to chart a pragmatic course towards countering the hateful agenda being perpetrated through social media platforms by a handful of unpatriotic Nigerians. This was while receiving on solidarity visit the leadership of Trust Alliance Foundation for Change under the auspices of National Network for Community and Youth Development. State House correspondent Adamawa reports that the group was led by the former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mahmoud Ahmed.
The National Network for Community and Youth Development is a group of patriotic Nigerians from all walks of life committed to, among others, enlightening the citizens to love one another, love the country, and support the enthronement of good governance at all levels. Describing members of the group as dependable allies in national development, President Muhammadu Buhari said the visit is timely when the country is in a season of political campaigns and there are rising instances of social media platforms being used to propagate hatred.
These spiteful messages that incite violence are posted by a handful of unpatriotic people anonymously. Now, more than ever, our country needs forums like yours to promote peaceful coexistence and mutual understanding between our many religious, tribal, and political groups.
The president, however, insists that sponsors of social media platforms must take adequate measures towards denying purveyors of hatred and division any space.
The approach you are taking on community and youth development is, in my view, the right one. As a government, we are doing our best. But we need non-governmental organizations like yours to also support us in delivering the message of peace and unity. After all, we only have one Nigeria, our only country.
The chairman, Board of Patrons of the National Network for Community and Youth Development and former secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mahmoud Ahmed, who led the delegation, said members of the group drawn from across Nigeria have realized that for so long this country has been governed under false pretenses.
We, without any equivocation, submit ourselves to the wonderful strides that you represent in this country, integrity and commitment to improve the quality of life of the ordinary Nigerian. The falsity of what we used to do must give way to the reality of our situation. In doing that, we are bound to suffer. But suffering for building integrity in this country is important.
Nigeria, he said, is a country in a hurry, with people either tend to forget the past or not even knowing it at all, thereby perpetually giving up their future.
We are always available, not doing things for a return, but doing things because we are Nigerians and we must come together and do the correct thing. We give you the necessary support because we know that you are the champion of integrity. We know that you are the champion of doing things right.
Members of the group prayed Allah to grant President Muhammadu Buhari the courage, good health, and the perseverance to totally eliminate corruption, take the citizens through what they called the stormy waters of Nigeria, and place the country on the path to sustainable future. From the State House, Adamawa, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to do whatever it takes within the limits of the law towards ensuring that host communities producing oil and gas resources in the country derive maximum benefits from the 13% derivation fund being enjoyed by the states in the Niger Delta region. He gave the promise while granting audience to members, boards of trustees of the host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas, led by the Mayanabo of Tuan Brass Kingdom, Alfred Dietes Peeve. State House correspondent again, Adamawa reports.
The 13% derivation fund to states in the Niger Delta region, President Muhammadu Buhari said, is constitutionally entrenched, and there is no reason why communities within the oil and gas producing areas should not derive maximum benefit from the allocation.
At least I would like to satisfy myself that the constitutional role is being diligently observed by the state government, that you do get the 13% and that the 13% goes to the constituencies. Since it is in the constitution, I think it has to be looked at. I will do my best.
The president, however, appealed to leaders of the host communities to use their influence in ensuring that the prevailing peace enterprise in the Niger Delta is maintained in the best interest of the nation's economy and social well-being of the region.
I appeal to you to continue to display your leadership and persuade the youth who are involved in pipeline vandalism and other things to stabilize the security in the area.
The oil and gas host producing communities presented to the president some top priority demands, which include the award of pipeline protection and surveillance contract to them, in addition to the release of accrued gas flare penalty money amounting to 98 billion naira.
If this request of the host community are granted, HOSCON will ensure that the funds are judiciously utilized to economically uplift and empower the Niger Delta people, stop crude thefts, youth militancy, pipeline vandalism, and illegal refinery. Your Excellency, sir, HOSCON will not fail you.
HOSCON is the foremost grassroots organization representing all the communities within the oil and gas producing areas in the Niger Delta, as well as pipeline imparted states across Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari also granted audience to the Chairman Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Senator Kabiru Garba Marafa, on the prevailing disquiet in Nigeria's oil industry.
Government has provided enormous quantities of petroleum products across the country, everywhere, that can last the country for up to 6 months now through NNPC. So some people are not too happy about it, and they want to see that maybe they sabotage the efforts of the government. So the chairman and the president, within the Minister of Petroleum Resources, I came to share some information.
Senator Marafa also briefed the president on the political and security situation in his state, Zamfara. From the State House, Adamawa, NTA News.
Now, the debate on human capital development in Nigeria has been on for some time now, prompting the social investment program of the federal government since the inception of the administration. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says the Buhari administration is fully committed to the well-being of the people. This was while presenting Nigeria's vision to accelerate human capital development at a special meeting of the National Economic Council in Abuja. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Beyond the body language that reflects concern of the Nigerian leadership to the quality of lives of the citizenry, the Buhari administration is walking the talks through its social investment programs. As Vice President Yemi Osinbajo observes, there is no gainsaying the fact that Nigeria has struggled with debilitating levels of poverty for decades, despite the huge potential.
In any event, what can be more important than the well-being of the people that we serve? As the government, we're fully aware of this, and this is so also with the state governments. And we are committed to ensuring that we positively transform the Nigerian experience as it relates to the quality of life and well-being of our people.
There is no gain without pain, the Vice President says, as he appeals to Nigerians to endure the present pain of a healing process. He equally appeals to states and development partners to make meaningful contributions that would support the programs.
I have no doubt at all that we are on the right path, but we must stick to this path. We cannot afford anything that will slow us down or take us away from these commitments that we've started to implement. We owe it to all of our people, young and old, male and female, especially the poorest and most vulnerable amongst us, to improve the quality of their lives and the quality of healthcare and education and the jobs that are accessible to them.
The Human Capital Development Ranking Initiative is a response to Nigerians' ranking as a country with low human capital development. The initiative is driven by the core working group consisting of representatives from government, development partners, and the private sector. The working group has selected 6 outcomes and several proxy measures to assess and track progress across human capital development thematic areas, which are health and nutrition, education, labor force participation. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NT News.
Let's take you to Akwa Ibom State now, where more than 11,000 women and youths in the state have benefited from the National Directorate of Employment Empowerment Program to make themselves reliant. The program, which is in collaboration with the Office of the Wife of the President, Mrs. Aisha Buhari's pet project, Future Assured, is geared towards lifting their living standard through skill acquisition programs. Most of the beneficiaries are drawn from the local government areas of the state, with much attention on the vulnerable women and youth. Mrs. Buhari, presenting certificate to beneficiaries, urged them to utilize the starter packs for self-employment.
Women and youth across the 6 geopolitical zones in this country. This has been in line with my pledge to contribute in reducing the level of poverty, to ensure that women of Nigeria are self-reliant.
Let's turn our attention to the legislature, where some members of the House of Representatives from across party platforms have initiated a process of legislation to revert Nigeria from the presidential parliamentary system of government. National Assembly correspondent Lamia Ali reports that the group, which so far have secured 71 signatures, briefed the press after the first reading of the bill at plenary. If passed and signed into law, it would, in their words, reduce the cost of governance.
Parliamentary system that was adopted in 1960, starting from the Little Constitution in 1954, is the best economic benefit that can happen to our system.
It fastens decision-making process and also lessens a lot of tension, and also there is easy means of conflict resolutions and what have you.
The presidential system, they said, was responsible for low output across all sectors. A training on corruption risk assessments for heads of anti-corruption agencies in the African Union has ended in Abuja. The training seeks to build a robust mechanism that will focus on preventing corruption as a tool for fighting the menace. Aliyu Tukur reports.
More than $2 trillion, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes, is lost to corruption globally each year. President Muhammadu Buhari, who is the anti-corruption champion for the African Union, declared open a training for heads of anti-corruption agencies in the African Union countries. The training focused on deploying the use of corruption risk assessment methodology as a means of preventing corrupt practices in the continent in order to promote development.
Prevention, as we keep emphasizing, is less costly option in fighting corruption.
The essence of any training or capacity building program is to enhance the ability of participants to utilize the new knowledge and skills acquired during such training experience.
Awards were presented to organizations including the Nigerian Television Authority and the Nigerian Immigration Service for their contributions in the fight against corruption. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
To the judiciary now, where the Supreme Court has declared Chinedu Okoronkwo as the president of the Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN. The leadership tussle dates back to 2014. The verdict followed an appeal by a faction led by Lawson Obase, who approached the Court of Appeal after an Abuja High Court recognized the Okoronkwo-led executives. In a judgment delivered by 5 panel of justices led by Justice Musa Muhammad, the Apex Court struck out the appeal for lack of merit.
And as did said earlier, no victor, anything you know that will grow this association, bring it. We are open. Everybody will be carried along, in fact.
Our brothers.
We are really grateful to Allah. We are really grateful to the judiciary. And we are really happy to the federal government for upholding the rule of law in this country.
That's
Well, do stay with us here on NTA Network News. Let's just take some messages. We're back in just a moment.
Hey, can you feel it? Glow is in the air. It's data. It's what you use every time you download music. Data. It's what streams movies. Data. It's what the banks use to check your account. Data. It's the very lifeblood of modern living. Data. And where does it all come from? Well, according to industry sources, more and more of it came from here. They acknowledge that Glow is now the largest data network in Nigeria. With your own Glow One submarine cable linked seamlessly to tens of thousands of kilometers with your own fiber optic cable. Glow can provide a huge data capacity anywhere at a more flexible and affordable price than anyone. It's simple. So you see, Glow is in the air. It's everywhere.
Data is oxygen. Get 125% bonus on all data plans. Also enjoy unconditional 25% data bonus non-stop on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
Hello?
Hi, Jenny.
Can you supply 1,000 bottles of juice by noon?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, bye.
Hello?
One day, I go any store and say I want everything.
Jenny, Auntie, please, I need a loan.
One day, anything I want,
hurry up.
Get it times 2. Someday, I'll be living.
Hello?
Clean that up. Because I don't get the money, you downgrade me.
Your order is on the way.
Are you an entrepreneur looking for financing to grow a business? I have good news for you. Development Bank of Nigeria now provides sustainable financing through commercial banks, microfinance banks, and other financial institutions with repayment terms of up to 10 years. Please do remember, paying back your loan in good time will give you access to more loans.
Development Bank of Nigeria. Financing sustainable.
Sensitivity is a short pain which occurs when teeth are exposed to hot, cold, or acidic things. Cold water from the fridge would trigger sensitivity. A lot of people would accept anyway and just grin and bear the pain. What I would say to the patient is switch to Sensodyne, make it your daily toothpaste. Over a period of time would reduce tooth sensitivity. And a lot of them come back to thank me, to say that, wow, it's just something so simple. It adds the sparkle back into their life.
Nigeria, now still one of the few countries in number of pregnant women still they die from things we're not supposed to kill them high pass. Thank God for things like family planning or childbirth spacing, where they help reduce number of women where they die because of say they carry belle. When we plan and put space between the times we they carry belle, our mama and pikin them no go they die anyhow. If all the women we need within them fit use they control how they take get belle, what you they call contraceptives, don't go fit prevent the death of about 1.5 million pikin them and 31,000 women inside the next 10 years. Our leaders, una need to settle this matter by making sure say family planning services reach every woman inside we country. No woman supposed suffer or die because she want born pikin. We must join hand and get it together, make our future for bright. Now, Federal Ministry of Health, they bring on this message.
The chairman, Captain Dr. Idahosa Wells Okumbo, JP, management and staff of the Wells Carlton Hotel and Luxury Apartments welcome invited guests to the grand opening ceremony of the 5-star luxury hospitality icon, the Wells Carlton Hotel and Luxury Apartments, located at number 8 Gadonasco Close off Jose Marti Street, Asokoro, Abuja, on Saturday, 15th December 2018 at 4 p.m. prompt. The special guest of honor at the occasion will be His Excellency the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshimajo, GCON. The chief host is the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Alhaji Muhammad Musa Bello. You are welcome.
You in the air-conditioned office with the itchy throat, Strepsils. Girl in the spotlight with the raspy throat, Strepsils. You in the pollution, it's you, dry throat, Strepsils. Hello in the downpour with the scratchy throat, take Strepsils.
Strepsils, with its soothing medicinal ingredients, will heal the harm done to your throat from external factors.
Strepsils! Strepsils! Strepsils, for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy.
Hello guys, you see, this guy standing here, not the same guy he was last year. Last year I made a critical decision to support the government in building better roads for Nigerians. What drove me to the FGN Sukuk investment wasn't only about the returns I was going to receive, but also knowing that my investment would contribute to the infrastructural projects across Nigeria. So I invite you to participate in the ongoing FGN Sukuk public offer, which is easy to invest in and open to everyone.
Let your money do good today and earn good returns. For details on how to invest, check newspapers or visit www.dmo.gov.ng or visit FBN Quest Merchant Bank Limited and Lotus Financial Services Limited. FGN Sukuk, an investment for you and your country.
Everybody dance now.
We are the strongest, no challenge can stop us, so Lord, and we are the brightest, no darkness can blind us. We are the strongest.
Malta Guinness is packed with B vitamins to fuel your greatness on the go.
Thanks for staying with us. President Muhammadu Buhari is tasking governors in the country to not only maintain prudence, but also tighten fiscal spending in their states so that the steady growth of the nation's economy is sustained. The president was speaking at an audience with members of the Nigeria Governors Forum on a thank you visit. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports.
The governors from across Nigeria were in the State House to express formal appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for keeping the states alive to their responsibilities in the last 3.5 years. In what the governors described as unprecedented in the nation's history, the Buhari presidency significantly intervened at various times through salary bailout, budget support, Paris Club refund, infrastructure development fund, among others, to help the states meet their obligations.
We appreciate what Mr. President did, and we strongly believe with all the president's mindset and thinking, it will be very, very, very difficult for us to govern. That's the truth. So, Mr. President, we told him that we're here to thank him, and we pray for him, Allah's guidance. And some of us, pray to him that we are first-timers, and Mr. President, we wish you what we wish ourselves.
At the closed-door meeting, President Buhari told the governors that although Nigeria exited recession, the economy is still recovering for sustainable growth, hence the need for caution in their fiscal spendings, as explained by Governor Yari Abubakar.
So Mr. President talked to us in the manner that we have a tax ahead of us. So we should tighten our belt and see how we can put Nigerian economy in the right direction, and how we can put the infrastructure decay of Nigeria in the right direction. So all of us as leaders, those that are coming to National Assembly, those that are coming as governors, and I as a coming back as a president, inshallah, we should not think that it's going to be easy. It's going to be harder than before, so we should tighten our belts.
The governors also used the opportunity to wish the president a successful outing in the forthcoming 2019 elections. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
A vice presidential debate organized by the Nigeria Elections Debate Group and Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria is underway at Transcorp Hilton, Abuja, with veteran broadcaster Imoni Amarere as moderator. The debate is being broadcast live on TVC News, with 5 political party candidates trying to prove their case on a range of topics, including economic reforms, gender equity and other issues bordering on the Nigerian Constitution.
50% of our revenues to service debt, which means we don't even have enough to be able to do infrastructural projects.
You cannot have a thriving economy if you allow the type of grand corruption that has taken place in Nigeria in the past 16 years.
We are doing a complete overhaul. Most problems that we have is the fact that our over 774 local governments are not fully developed.
That 50-50 gender equity is almost the priority in whatever we're doing in YPP.
In deregulation, what we do is to create the enabling environment and support the private sector to be able to drive the economy. As it is, the fall of the Naira is low because foreign direct investments are not coming.
Vote trading is an aberration and at variance with the collective resolve to achieve conduct of free, fair and credible elections. In line with global best practices, this is the position of the Independent National Electoral Commission at a roundtable on incidents of vote trading organized by the Electoral Institute. Timothy Yusuf has more.
Vote buying is criminal in nature. So the law enforcement should do best to discourage vote buying.
With the 2019 general elections fast approaching, deliberations on the implications of vote buying and selling, as well as consolidation of the gains of democratic governance in Nigeria, are imperative. The electoral umpire in this direction believes that some recent trends in the electoral process run at cross purpose to the principle of free, fair and credible elections.
Vote buying did not start today or even yesterday. Indeed, vote buying in its many guises is as old as democracy itself.
The chairman of the commission has always said it, if there is nobody to buy the vote, nobody will sell.
Participants suggest continuous engagement between INEC and election stakeholders as solution to the menace of vote trading as the 2019 general polls draw closer. The call on the electorate to support INEC in its desire of putting in place an electoral process that will serve the 21st century needs of Nigerians. Meanwhile, some presidential candidates have been signing the 2019 Presidential Election Peace Accord at the Kuka Center, Abuja. One of the latest is Dr. Davidson Akimian of the Grassroots Development Party of Nigeria.
Presidential candidates and political parties must commit to ensuring free, fair and credible elections.
He promised to abide by issue-based campaigns. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
So talking election matters, an FCT High Court has declared former Minister of Information, Professor Jerry Ghana, as the winner of the presidential primary election of the Social Democratic Party conducted on October 6, 2018. Ghana approached the court a few days after the primary election with the reason that the zoning and rotation formula as contained in the party's constitution stipulated that both the chairman of the party and the flag bearer should not come from the same zone. He described the judgment as a victory for democracy.
I believe in people, really making sure people work together. In a democracy, you work together. But democracy must be in accordance to the rule of law. What I've done is not because I don't hate Donald Duke. In fact, we are, very, very good friends over the years.
The Social Democratic Party says it will react appropriately to the judgment. In fulfillment of some of its promises to President Muhammadu Buhari, the APC Aspirants Forum has pacified aggrieved aspirants in Bauchi State. The forum met the aggrieved aspirants and Bauchi State Governor Mohammed Abubakar behind closed doors at the banquet hall of the Bauchi State Government House. Adamu Haruna Adams reports.
After hours of deliberation behind closed doors with Governor Abubakar, the APC aspirants appear joyous and satisfied.
We can resolve all our crises, our differences and so on, so that we can forge ahead and ensure victory for the APC in the forthcoming 2019 election.
You can see from the faces of all the aspirants that yes, we have taken our fate and we are willing and ever ready to make sure we ensure a resounding victory in the next coming election.
What we've achieved in Bauchi, if we will be able to achieve it in only 60% of our states of the Federation, I'm assuring you that APC, Mr. President, and the governors will win 100%.
Organizing dinner with our member here to make sure all the members in Bauchi APC Aspirant Forum to work for APC and the victory of the governor and Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari.
In Bauchi, Adam Haruna Adams, NTA News.
Meanwhile, various youth groups and political organizations in Taraba State have declared their support for President Muhammadu Buhari come the 2019 polls. The groups made their position known during a solidarity rally organized to receive the APC governorship candidate in the state, Sani Abubakar Danladi. On arrival to Jalingo, the state capital, Hawal Abdullahi completes the report.
The Solidarity Rally organized in support of President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC governorship candidate in Taraba State, Sani Abubakar Danladi, brought together various youth groups and political organizations from across the state. The groups declared that their support for President Muhammadu Buhari is in recognition of the numerous achievements recorded during his administration in the areas of security, economy, and the fight against corruption, as well as infrastructural development. They appreciated and commended the president for approving the multi-billion naira Mambila hydroelectric power project and Ibi Bridge, saying the project will go a long way in improving socio-economic development of the state. Sani Abubakar Danladi moved through the major street of Jalingo, where he acknowledged cheers from his teaming supporters and members of the APC. All members and supporters of the party expressed optimism that APC is going to emerge victorious at both the national and state level. In Jalingo, Awal Abdullahi, NTA News.
Let's talk security now. The Nigerian Armed Forces must operate with high level of professional discipline, wisdom and utmost fairness in dealing with issues of national security. Chief of Air Staff Marshal Sadiq Abubakar stated this at the graduation of students of Junior Course 86 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Kaduna. Suleiman Abdullahi Rikachukun reports.
By powers vested on me by the governing board of the Armed Forces Command.
That marks the formal conferment of past junior staff course on 172 intermediate cadre officers comprising 88 Nigerian Army officers, 40 Navy, 27 Air Force, 9 foreign students and personnel from ministries, departments and agencies, having undergone 23 weeks of military training designed to prepare them for effective discharge of their respective duties.
As activities get momentum preparatory to the 2019 general election in Nigeria, the armed forces will be expected to play its constitutional role in aid to civil authority with the utmost fairness, non-partisanship, loyalty, and patriotism.
The Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, being a joint service institution, has since establishment in the 70s been training tactical and operational level officers of the armed forces. In Kaduna, I am Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun, NTA News.
A report just reaching us says the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, says President Muhammadu Buhari is making concerted effort to improve the welfare and equipment of the Nigerian military to enhance the clearance of the remnants of Boko Haram. Lieutenant General Buratai said this in a message at the burial of troops that were killed in Metele, Borno State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has more.
These are bodies of 19 out of 23 officers and soldiers, members of 157 Task Force Battalion, who were attacked in Metele, Abadan, Northern Borno, on the 18th November 2018. As a tradition in the Nigerian military, deserved and dignified burial rites are accorded to fallen heroes who paid the supreme price, protecting Nigerians and Nigeria's territorial integrity.
Ashes to ashes, dust.
To the families of the fallen heroes, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, stressed that the death of their loved ones will not be in vain, as the onslaught will be intensified till the terrorists completely subdued.
On behalf of the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, and indeed the armed forces of Nigeria, further condole the families of these gallant officers and soldiers and assure you that we will continue to do the best for you in line with outlined welfare package for the families of gallant officers and soldiers that made supreme sacrifice for our dear fatherland. Today, we buried 19. And why 19 were buried is because we are still expecting the families and next of kin of the remaining 4.
Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima represented appealed to the army to support the families of the deceased. From Mimalari Cantonment in Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
May their souls rest in peace. Now let's take you to Lagos, where Michael Olale brings more report. Michael?
Thank you, Joseph, and welcome to Lagos. The Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, ICPC, and other electoral stakeholders have asked Nigerians to be vigilant and resist any attempt by unpatriotic elements in Nigeria who would want to buy their conscience with foodstuff and monetary inducement as the 2019 general election approaches. This was at a day national campaign against vote buying and other electoral malpractices, organized by ICPC in conjunction with Youth Alive Foundation. Vera Chiomba reports that the gathering was a convergence of civil society groups and concerned Nigerians.
Money has become a dominant factor in Nigeria's politics. The masses are victimized and made susceptible to material inducement by vote buying. Democratic stakeholders see this developing menace as worrisome. This informed the national campaign against vote buying and other related electoral malpractices.
We therefore need to work on the minds of the voting public to stop them from selling their vote, because it is their conscience they are selling.
When you have already been bought over by selling your vote, you don't have the courage, you don't have the right to ask the leader to do anything for you.
Various group leaders agreed that incidents of vote buying threaten democratic norms.
We must not allow those with deep pockets to actually ruin the integrity of the elections in this country.
Our own take away from here is to educate women that they should not mortgage the lives of their children and children that are unborn.
If holistic mechanisms are not put in place to check the menace, there is a high tendency that the issue of vote buying may affect election credibility in 2019. In Lagos, Viera Chumba, NTA News.
Key drivers in the maritime sector have pledged to pay adequate attention to safety practices and adhere strictly to regulatory standards in critical areas in the industry. They make the pledge at a workshop organized by Ship Owners Association of Nigeria in Lagos. Muhammad Abdul Kadri tells us more.
Yes, in this sector, who have succeeded in putting the country on the global maritime map are gathered in this hall to discuss the future of this sector. Some chief executives of relevant agencies, including the representative of the Chief of Naval Staff, examined contemporary issues bordering on the need for effective policy implementation, all-inclusive engagement, and new regulatory regime for the growth of the industry.
What we are doing is to ensure that we get everybody to be on the same page. Is it in financing of maritime assets? Is it in dealing with issues of maritime security? Is it in enforcement of laws?
We are importing so much into this country, we are exporting so much in this country, and we don't have one single bottom. I'm not talking of ladies' bottom, I'm talking about ship that is involved in this trade. So that's the next thing we want to engage strongly on.
The workshop, which is the 4th edition, had as its theme the Nigerian maritime industry, galvanizing stakeholders' engagement for sustainable growth. In Lagos, Muhammad Abdul Kadri, NTA News.
You are still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this timeout. Please stay with us.
Next. Lagbaja. Omo Baba Muko.
Na Baba be that.
How do I know you are not an impostor? Oh yeah, play me something.
Abba, my band members are all over the world. Let me connect with them on Glow 4G and make some great music for you. Who's on Glow here?
I got Glow. Well, I've got Glow too.
I go show you.
Hello, sir.
Aleki, Gogo, Jide, guitar. Uzo, give me conga. Ahmed, keyboard. 1, 2, 3.
No matter where you are in the world, rest assured, Glow has you covered. Glow Oga SIM, the unrivaled big boss of data. Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy 25% data bonus on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
Come join us. Mom says we have more than enough.
Wherever you may travel, whoever you will be with, we wish you a supreme Christmas. Be supreme, Nigeria.
We have a challenge. My husband has a big interview, but his shirts aren't cleaning well.
Don't panic, Ngozi. Just use Good Mama. Good Mama's extra cleaning power removes all dirt, leaving a wonderful scent. Look, whites are white, colors are bright, and extra fresh.
Now in a 1 kg pack.
He got the job?
What do you think?
Obvious.
Good Mama knows best.
Team huddle.
But we lost.
Don't be tired, guys. This isn't a loss. It's a practice for winning.
Nothing makes a mother prouder than seeing her child growing up. But I know as he learns to lead, he'll face even more dirt, germs, and risk of illness.
That's why in changing seasons, you need strong Dettol protection. Because Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Hello, guys. You see, this guy standing here, not the same guy he was last year. Last year, I made a critical decision to support the government in building better roads for Nigerians. What drove me to the FGN Sukuk investment wasn't only about the returns I was going to receive, but also knowing that my investment would contribute to the infrastructural projects across Nigeria. So I invite you to participate in the ongoing FGN Sukuk public offer, which is easy to invest in and open to everyone.
Let your money do good today and earn good returns. For details on how to invest, check newspapers or visit www.dmo.gov.ng or visit FBN Quest Merchant Bank Limited and Lotus Financial Services Limited. FGN Sukuk, an investment for you.
Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1, a delicious combination of rich cocoa and wholesome goodness of milk. Just add hot water to get an instant chocolatey treat that delights your senses. Cadbury Hot Chocolate 3-in-1. Just add hot water.
Nigeria we hail. Those who divide our people are getting better at their game. Yet, now we do ourselves pass. Lecturer the oppressed student them. Bus driver they show passenger where. Local government people are terrifying local government people. Campaign people will come and go. Grammar people will remain. So now, many people have become Uncle Thomases, unwilling to desire or work for a better nation. We must continue to push and believe, and small, our prayers will be answered. This education you go get down. These children, them go grow and prosper. And this business, it not go spoil for your hand, because Union Bank understands what it means to push through challenges, and together we go clear every doubt when they are on our way. Don't be an Uncle Thomas. Union Bank, your simpler, smarter bank.
You're still watching NTN Network News with me, Joseph Johnson, and we are back in Abuja. Let's now head straight to business. Nigeria's inflation increased by 11.28% year-on-year. Chumobi Walter Naji is right here with me in the studio to bring us up to speed on business news. Chumobi, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Joseph.
Quite an increase there. Should we be worried?
Of course not. It is to be expected at this moment, given the times that the nation is in. The Yuletide is just by the corner, and of course the general elections next year. Okay. All right, moving on now. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, which measures inflation, increased by 11.28% year-on-year in November 2018. This is 0.02 percentage points higher than the rate recorded in October 2018, which was 11.26%. Figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics this Friday revealed that on month-on-month basis, the headline inflation increased by 0.80% in November 2018, up by 0.06 percentage points from the rate recorded in October 2018. The urban inflation rate increased by 11.61% year-on-year in November 2018 from 11.64% recorded in October 2018, while the rural inflation rate increased by 10.99% in November 2018 from 10.93% in October 2018. On a month-on-month basis, the urban index rose by 0.83% in November 2018, up by 0.07 from 0.076% recorded in October 2018, while the rural index also rose by 0.78% in November 2018, down by 0.06% from the rates recorded in October 2018. And in other stories, the federal government has disclosed that 36 state governments and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, will soon access World Bank's $750 million loan and grant facility. The Minister of Finance, Zainab Shamsuna Ahmed, stated this in Abuja while addressing the 7th Community of Practice COP, made up of State Commissioners of Planning and Budgeting. The meeting served as a platform for facilitating peer learning and information exchange, strengthening coordination, collaboration, and networking among state commissioners of planning and budgeting. The minister noted that the $750 million can only be assessed by states that have implemented her fiscal responsibility. She also charged the COP to make monitoring of the process of implementation of budget as a cardinal, as it would benefit the enhance the standard of living of the people in their states. And on the tables of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, trading experienced bullish sentiments, recording 0.34% with an all-share index of 30,672.79 basis points in 2,337 deals. FCMB was the most traded, with the volume of trade hitting 105 million, valued at 168 million naira. The gainers table was led by First Aluminium ahead of Seplet and Berger, while PZ Company led the losers table to close ahead of Sterling and Fitson. Now, these are the stories making the rounds in the world of business. At this time, it's back to you, Joseph.
Thank you, Chumobi. And Ibadan is where we go next. Fatai?
Thank you, Joseph, and good to have you in Ibadan. The Osun State Governor, Boyega Oyetola, says he is committed to the ideals of the progressives. The governor stated this when the National Caucus of Afenifere paid him a visit in Osogbo. Femi Afariogun has details.
The Afenifere, led by the non-Nigerian Ayo Fasomi and Senator Olabiyi Durojaye, are on a mission, and it is to advise Governor Boyega Oyetola of Osun State to continue to toe the path of the progressives, just as his predecessor did.
That the next 4 years is going to witness a lot of improvements in the life of our state.
The Afenifere that we know has always been progressive, and that's progressive we want to remain. And the only political party we know to be progressive in Nigeria today is the APC.
Governor Oyetola sees Afenifere as the only pan-Yoruba socio-political organization that is consistent in the entrenchment of development for the country.
The party that we're talking of today is actually the party of the masses. So I align myself with your call for all of us to support the president for his re-election.
In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
That does it in Ibadan. It's back to you, Joseph.
Thank you, Fatai. Now let's quickly take another break. Stay with us.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
What's up?
His friends didn't come.
Hey, let's practice.
But you're going out.
Don't worry about me.
Nothing satisfies a mother more than seeing a child grow up. But I know as he sweats, he'll face the risk of germs which can cause skin irritation.
That's why you need the new best ever Dettol Cool. Its new advanced formulation with extra menthol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs and gives your family icy cool freshness.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Get a GoTV decoder and GoTenna and 1 month of GoTV Max subscription for only 6,900 Naira. GoTV. Live it, love.
2019 elections are coming. Do not let yourselves be used by politicians. Do not allow your emotions go haywire. Do not be a tool to cause mayhem. No election matter is worth the destruction of lives and properties. Be wise. Don't be a violent Nigerian youth. Don't get involved in any act of violence. Your future is at stake. Shun violence during elections. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
The Director General of Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, has spoken on the readiness of the organization towards promoting African cultures through projecting the real stories of people in Africa. The Director General made the remark while receiving delegates from African International Documentary Festival Foundation who visited NTA headquarters in Abuja. Correspondent Rabi Aliyu has details.
African International Documentary Festival Foundation has been celebrating renowned documentary producers and filmmakers, thereby showcasing the rich African cultural heritage and history. The management of the foundation was at the largest African television headquarters to seek partnership.
I believe what's important with the NTA and the partnership with AFIDFF is the fact it can be healing, that we are actually setting out to heal the pain and suffering of things that people are going through by empowering them with ways that we can find solutions together.
The Director General of NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, says NTA is committed to promoting African cultures.
We'd like to assure you that we are poised and ready, to join hands with organizations, individuals, and institutions, that share our aims and objectives. And definitely the foundation does share, our aims and objectives.
In Abuja, Aliyu Rabba Aliyu, NTA News.
And on sports with Kenneth